Okay, everybody, welcome to GH Miller Field. I'm Jay Elias.
And I'm Kim Hostetler.
And we'll be your announcers for tonight. We are getting ready for the Forest Hills Varsity Boys versus the Philipsburg Osceola Varsity Boys. We just recorded the girls' game right before this. They had a real nice 3-0 win over Philipsburg Osceola. Let's hope our boys have that same outcome at the end of the night. Should be a really nice matchup, Kim. Philipsburg comes to us with a 6-1-1 record, and Forest Hills coming in tonight with a 4-2-1 record. So very, very close.
Ooh,
records.
definitely.
Yeah. Should be a real close matchup. Should be a real good game. And Philipsburg starting off with possession. And they quickly get it down deep into Forest Hills territory. But as we know, that may not last long, and as I say that, Forest Hills looks like they may be able to get something going already, but that ball goes out. So Philipsburg's going to have a throw in here on the near side.
And I'm going to apologize right now because it's coming down. Not really rain, just a really heavy mist. I'm going to get a quick shot of that right now so you can see what it's doing out there.
Yeah, it's been misting for quite a while now, and all night long we had that mist. But to be honest with you, I was just down on the field talking with the coaches right before the game, and the mist really doesn't seem bad at all. It didn't seem to be affecting the players at all, and you can barely feel it. It looks like a lot more than what it really is.
Right, but because of that,
right.
I'm inside.
Sure.
The press box rather than standing out with the equipment. So
hey, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to be out there either. Like I said, even though it's not coming down, it is a little mist happening there all night, and I'm sure it's going to make that playing surface a little bit slick this evening.
Right, but I'm going to apologize because I'm inside. It's a little difficult to get those corners, so I will do as best as I can. So I do apologize.
And as we're talking there, Seth Bernoski took the ball from the near side and able to squirt it through. Oh! And Forest Hills with, an opportunity I thought for sure.
Just skimmed.
Yeah, skimmed over the top bar. Looked like we had a real quick goal. I believe that was Toby Wilt, one of our captains, with that shot on goal. And just made it over that crossbar. So, as we were saying before, Philipsburg had control of the ball early, but it didn't take long for Forest Hills to push that ball back down the field and get a quick shot on goal. And so far in the game, we've had a lot of action. Both goalies, right in the thick of things. Bryce Carroll, our keeper, coming out of goal, and not sure if he just wasn't able to get a hold of the ball, if it's wet or what happened out there, but he ended up on the ground, and luckily we were able to clear that ball away as we have a throw-in from the far end by Philipsburg. And as the night goes on, like you said, that mist that's coming down, although it doesn't feel like much when you're out there, it could come into play, not just with the footing, but as we saw there a little bit ago, it looked like the keeper had a little trouble just getting a hold of the ball. It just might be slick enough that I'm not going to be able to handle it real easily. So we'll see how that plays into this game. As we know, soccer goes deep into the season. I know every year the snow's flying and they have soccer playoffs going on. So these guys are used to playing in all conditions. When they start, the temperatures can sometimes be in the 90s. And when these seasons end with the playoffs, it can be in the 20s and 30s. So they're used to all conditions out there. Number 9, Carson Long for Philipsburg. Passing the ball up to the middle, to the center. And Toby nicely able to get control of that. Thought about throwing it and chooses to punt that ball up to about the 40-yard line instead and see if we can get something going here with Forest Hills. Forest Hills wisely passes that ball back to the defenders, see if we can get something set up and move that ball down the field to our forwards and get another shot on goal. Ball sitting in the center of the field. I believe that was Caden Carpenter. I believe that's Caden Carpenter that has the ball right now. And some nice footwork and then a real quick shot on goal, trying to hit that corner post just wide. So far we've had 2 real nice kicks in there. One just skipped over the crossbar, and that one just goes wide a little bit to the right of the keeper.
We heard a collective sigh from the crowd.
Yes, well, he was really working that ball in there. He had nothing but white jerseys around him and somehow was able to get that kick off and almost got it in. Caden, of course, also our kicker for the football team this year, and he has done a fine job in his first season playing football.
Yes, he has. I think I taught him everything he knows about kicking that football because he was one of my students.
I'm sure you did, Kim. And as we were talking there, Isaac Dibble right in the middle of the action, and he's still out there in the middle of the action, trying to get that ball set up somehow, bring it back to our defense wisely. The defenders looking to see if they can get something pushed through again in the center of the field. So far, it looks like Forest Hills a very well-disciplined team and a very well-coached team. They seem to they know what they're doing out there. They're setting up some plays. You can tell that they're not just kicking the ball and trying to get it to the middle of the field. They're actually setting up plays, getting that ball back to the defenders, and then quickly getting it back onto the other end of the field. And we're able to get some pretty quick shots on goal. A lot of times I know we start these games and it's almost like a boxing match. You see them going back and forth in the center of the field. Not in this case right here. I mean, we've already had quite a few shots on goal, and as I was saying that, Toby Wilt once again able to come out of goal and stop that one and get a nice pass across there and get things going again for Forest Hills. And Forest Hills has had some nice shots on goal. So they're not just trying to go in there and fill one another out and see who can get the ball through. They're actually doing it and trying to get that shot on goal and score. So 2 quick teams out there. Both look like they have some powerful legs, and we should have some good action happening here as the night goes on. And again, wow, nice shot on goal. I believe that came off the foot again of Caden Carpenter, right to the keeper though. Keeper able to handle that one and quickly gets that ball out to the near side. They're going to try to work it up, but Forest Hills doing a real nice job not letting them move it upfield at all. Little throw in here on the foot of Carson Long, and he's pushing that ball up the near side, but our defenders quickly able to get that ball back up on the other end of the field. That was Jeffrey Byer pushing it back up there, forcing the keeper to come out, and just barely got there. But he was able to stop that ball, looks like around the 10-yard line, and keeps Forest Hills from getting a shot off. Philipsburg trying to push the ball down into Forest Hills' side, and they do, but Forest Hills with the throw-in, able to retain possession once again. And now Philipsburg setting something up. Let's see if they can get something going in the middle of the field. And again, those defenders on each end doing a fantastic job. Toby Wilt coming out of goal to stop that and quickly get the ball upfield to about the 30-yard line as Forest Hills tries to get something going here. We had Seth Bernoski in the middle of the field working hard trying to move that ball up past the 50-yard line. And we have a player down briefly for Philipsburg, maybe a tripping call here. And I have to apologize to Bryce Carroll. I was saying Toby Wilt back there. That is Bryce Carroll that is in goal. And Bryce doing a fantastic job back there, keeping the ball out of goal. Both ends are so far. We have both keepers working hard. Forest Hills with an opportunity. And looks like, yes, that one goes through. We have a goal. And I know I called that number before. Mistakenly, I was saying Toby Wilt was in goal. Absolutely not. That was Toby Wilt streaking down the center of the field, and he gets the first goal for Forest Hills and the first goal of the game. The Rangers take a 1-0 lead over Philipsburg Osceola. We have 30 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the half. And Kim, I know you like to track these players by the color of their shoes. So I'm sure you'd be very happy to see down there that we do have a nice, bright orange pair of shoes on Seth Bernosky. So you'll know where he is anytime he's in possession of the ball on the field.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can't miss the shoes, but you can always miss the numbers. Whenever they're flying past, sometimes it's really difficult to see the number.
Sure.
So that's what I would look for, are the different shoes.
And so far, we've had a lot of flying out there on the field. I mean, these guys are hustling for both sides. They definitely are not jogging this one. There's a lot of fast-paced action happening on the field. Forest Hills really able to push that ball into the center. And we've had some guys just flying down there and getting some nice shots on goal. And looks like we may have another one just off the post, off the keeper. And he is able to corral that ball and keep it in there. So Forest Hills unable to score there, but boy, they have really put the pressure on the Philipsburg keeper. And I believe the goalkeeper for Philipsburg tonight is Hunter Bell. It's hard to see a number from up here. I take that back. It's number 72. Matt Thompson is in goal tonight. He's a sophomore. And ball resting just about midfield here, but not for long. Forest Hills trying to push it back up and see if they can get something else cooking in the middle of the field. Doing a nice job so far of, I would say, maintaining possession on the Philipsburg end of the field. Matt Thompson back there in goal has done a real nice job. He's kept quite a few shots out. One was able to get through. And we had another one go across the front of the goal. Looked a little bit more menacing than what it was. We didn't have anybody near there able to get a hold of it. But that's doing a real nice job getting that ball to the center of the field, giving our guys some opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, it looks like we have a couple of, or at least one change coming in here. No, possibly two changes coming in for Philipsburg. I see number 8, Brennan Velinotti, midfielder, came in over on this side. And it looked like we might have had Landon Williams, a forward, go on the far side of the field. So with all this action, I'm sure the starters needed a little break, Kim. Getting some subs in early.
Definitely. I'm so sorry. I keep leaning the camera this way because all the action's on the left-hand side here.
That's a good thing.
Trying to reach around the press box window.
Sure, and that's not a bad thing for Forest Hills.
Exactly.
We like the action on the left side of the field right now.
That's right.
And looks like Philipsburg trying to get something happening down here. But again, the defenders for Forest Hills, just like the defenders in the girls' game, defenders for Forest Hills on the boys have done the same thing as the girls, not allowing that ball back there too often. Bryce Carroll did have a couple of shots on goal back there that he defended well, but outside of that, our defense has done a nice job. And again, Matt Thompson doing a nice job keeping the ball out of the goal for Philipsburg Osceola, because that was a nice hard kick to his left side. It looked like it was going to maybe get through, but he was able to corral that ball again, and he kicks it all the way out there to about the 50-yard line. And Philipsburg trying to set something up, but didn't last too long. And here we go, Caden Carpenter with a nice pass in. Oh, and the keeper, again, Matt Thompson, very busy back there, comes out to the 10-yard line, able to get control of the ball. And it's a good thing he did, because we had a streaking Toby Wilt right in the middle of the field getting ready for another shot on goal. And looks like the ball is going to be a throw-in for Philipsburg. Comes off of foot of a player in a green jersey. So far, both teams, Kim, moving quickly up and down that field.
It amazes me, the athleticism of these soccer players. It is just nonstop for them.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we've got 2 40-minute halves, and it's just constant.
Yeah,
they don't get a break.
It hasn't stopped, you know, and we have Seth Bernoski over here on the near side of the field, and he seems to have something with Toby Wilt there. He's able to get that ball into him, I bet you probably about 3 or 4 times now, where giving Toby a good opportunity to get in the center of the field and get a shot on goal. Also, we had Caden Carpenter up in the center of the field as well, working that ball. So yeah, Forest Hills has done a real nice job working the ball into the middle of the field and pushing it up deep into Philipsburg territory several times now. Keeping the pressure on that keeper, Matt Thompson, doing a nice job back there in goal. He has stopped quite a few shots, as we said, but the pressure has been on him all night long so far. And there's Seth Bernoski again trying to push that ball up to Toby. This time it was intercepted by a Philipsburg defender and pushed back up on the other end of the field. And an opportunity for Philipsburg. But Bryce Carroll does a nice job corralling that ball in. And then a real nice punt with a lot of hang time out to about the 45. It's going to skip over into Philipsburg territory, giving Forest Hills an opportunity here. It's nice when we see our defenders up around the 35 to 40-yard line. At that point, we know that the ball is safely down in Philipsburg territory. And wow, just as we say that, Philipsburg turns that ball around, goes the other direction, and just high of the crossbar. And I believe that was Brennan Fellinati. I called his name a little bit earlier. He's a junior midfielder for Philipsburg Osceola, and he's had a couple of nice shots down there. Philipsburg moving the ball nicely around the middle of the field, trying to set something up.
Ooh.
Defended nicely by Forest Hills. And there's an opportunity to move that ball back up the field. There's Caden Carpenter. He sees his guys streaking towards the goal. And again, Matt Thompson comes out, but this time he wisely decides to kick that ball back up the field rather than slide. If that would have come off of his hands, we had two guys right there with good opportunities to get a shot on goal. So nice job on Matt's behalf to get that ball out of there as quickly as he could. And Forest Hills on the far side of the field trying to work that ball back to the middle. We just don't have anybody up there to get that shot on goal. But Forest Hills with possession. And nice little throw in. Giving the guys a chance to get a breather, maybe get something set up, get that ball back into the middle of the field and get another shot on goal. We just keep working it from that far side. But Philipsburg able to turn it around from their defenders, and Forest Hills pushed all the way up to the 45-yard line with their defense. Wisely kicks that ball out, giving Forest Hills an opportunity to get downfield and help out a little bit. We have a throw-in coming in for Philipsburg. Looks like Ethan Thompson, number 6. He's a senior defender coming all the way up for that throw-in. And we may have a handball there. And Forest Hill, nice job, able to take that ball away. And again, here we go with Toby Wilt streaking down the side and shot on goal. Matt Thompson just able to get over there to his right and stop that ball. But wow, how quickly they can move down that field. So far, I've been very impressed from both sides, Kim. Really impressed with Forest Hills. They are a quick striking team. There's no question.
Definitely. Actually, I was able to attend some of the games as the scorekeeper for the soccer games. And actually, I even see more growth from the beginning of the year until now.
Yes, absolutely. Seth Bernoski just doing a great job over here on the near side of the field. Seems like every time he's able to get a hold of that ball, he's able to just turn it around, quickly moving it downfield and getting it to one of the forwards we have down there. Looks like we have Aaron Henninger with that throw in for Philipsburg as they're trying to maintain possession and get something happening in the middle of the field. Forest Hills defenders have done a nice job, and that one goes right through the uprights. As we know in soccer, that does not count for 3, does not count for anything, but it was a nice attempt, but safely goes over the crossbar, through the goal post. No goal for Philipsburg. And again, Forest Hills doing a nice job around that 40-yard line, keeping control of the ball, giving Toby an opportunity, and he takes it. Again, a streaking Toby Wilt down the center of the field, and a goal. That makes the score Forest Hills 2, Philipsburg 0. All right, we have a 2-0 lead with the Rangers over Philipsburg Osceola.
Come on, guys.
Coach is doing a great job down here in the sidelines. I noticed after that goal, Caden Carpenter came over, had a quick conversation with one of the coaches. I'm sure coaches are letting him know what we need to do to set up again down on the other end of the field and see if we can get a another goal or two. That's a nice 2-0 lead with about 16 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the half.
I don't believe we mentioned any of the coaches' names. I know Mr. Gonzalez. I see Nathan Velko down there. I believe he would be an assistant or a volunteer assistant.
Yes, we have Carlos Gonzalez as the coach, Jake Penitzer, Nathan Velko, and Keith Pesto helping out down there on the sidelines. And over on the other side, we have head coach Ryan Long, and he's assisted. His assistants are Mike Good, Bill Mostyn, Brian Fenton, and Alex Boumeri, I believe is how you pronounce that name. I hope I got that correct. I'm sorry if I did not. But I talked to both coaching staffs before the game started, and they're both ready for this game. As we said earlier, Philipsburg sits right near the top of the division with a 6-1-1 record. Forest Hills, I'm sure, is very close to the top as well with a 4-2-1 record. So a victory tonight would be key for Forest Hills to move up in the rankings. And Philipsburg trying to get something going there. Seth Bernoski able to break that up quickly. He gets it back down the field, as we've seen many times tonight already, to Toby Wilt. And there's no question, Kim, I know you talked about this earlier. These guys have played together, and I'd say they've played together for quite a while, maybe growing up with AYSO and some of the other organizations.
Oh, I would imagine. Actually, I know several of the players, former students of mine, and I know for a fact that they had been playing all through elementary school.
Sure. I know Caden Carpenter has played. Oh, we have another shot across the middle. Not a shot on goal, but a shot across the middle there. Nobody was there for Forest Hills. But, yes, as you said, you've had several of these guys.
Eli Rudnick,
yes.
He is a junior this year. I know he played when he was younger. I'm sure most of them do.
Yeah, so I'd say that, all the way up through from the time they were 6-7 years old, they've been playing together in AYSO organizations and other leagues. And you can just tell the chemistry's out there right now. With Forest Hills, it's almost like they know where the other guys are going to be. When you see that ball come off of Seth's foot, he can already tell where Toby's going to be on the field, and he's able to get it right to him. And as we had a quick break there, we have two substitutions coming in for Philipsburg, number 17, Nolan Beisch, and number 11, Siler Dixon. They're both forwards. Nolan's a sophomore, and Siler is a junior. So they're getting a little bit of playing time here. And I'm sure that's just to give those starters a rest. We'll be seeing some substitutions, I'm sure, on the Forest Hill side as well. As fast-paced as this game has been, these guys are going to need a break at some point. But so far, that action has been fast-paced, and they don't seem like they're winded at all. I'd say the off-season, they've been doing a lot of training. And again, Seth Bernoski pushing that ball forward. And things have been very quiet for Bryce Carroll back there for a while. He has himself all the way out to around the 10-yard line. Very comfortable as the action takes place down on the other end of the field. Forest Hills able to push their defenders all the way up to the 50-yard line, keeping the pressure down on the other end of the field. But it looks like that came off the foot of one of the Rangers. So that gives Philipsburg an opportunity to throw the ball in, move it down the field, maybe set something up. But so far, the action seems to be happening on the other end. And as I say that, Isaac Dibble moves the ball down into the corner for Forest Hills. We have Toby Wilt down there working hard to keep that ball in and possibly get it across to the middle. He does have somebody set up right in the middle of the field in front of the goal, but it looks like that ball sails out. Caden Carpenter with a quick throw in. And again, Kim, as we talked about in the first game, both coaches working hard down there. It looks like Philipsburg's Ryan Long working real hard, talking to his guys the entire time, letting them know what to do, helping them set up some plays, and trying to get that ball moved out of their end and back down to the other end of the field.
Well, these boys are taking a beating, as opposed to the girls. I really didn't see too many.
Too many headers.
Yeah.
I just saw one over on
one
the
there,
far
but then
side
I
of the
mean
field.
they're getting hit in the chest like a lot.
It doesn't seem to phase them though. They seem to just keep moving.
Yes.
So obviously both teams have been well coached, and as we said earlier, probably have played quite a bit, and they know exactly how to take those shots where it doesn't hurt like we think it might. Looks like Ethan Thompson's getting ready to come back into the game for Philipsburg. I see him down on the sidelines there. So far, I have not seen any substitutions for Forest Hills. Philipsburg seems to be working their players in and out of the game. Forest Hills seems to be strong out there and still pushing the ball down on the other end. They haven't needed any substitutions yet, at least none that I've seen. And there's Seth Bernoski with a throw in, able to move the ball into the center of the field. And again, just as the ball seems like it might have an opportunity to get over to the other end, our defenders put it right back down into the Philipsburg side. I'm sure Bryce Carroll's very happy back there, not having to work real hard. On the other side, we have Matt Thompson. He's been working hard all night long. He makes another nice save right there in the middle of the field as he gets ready to punt that ball back out, and he puts it out to about the 45-yard line as it skips over into Rangers territory. And Philipsburg trying to work that ball up through the middle of the field. We have Siler Dixon working the near side here, unable to get that ball to the center, and Forest Hills in control at the moment. And that ball just goes out. Let's see. I believe that was Green that touched it last. That's going to be a throw in for Philipsburg. They're going to try to work this ball into the middle, I'm sure, and get a shot on goal. Being down 2-0 with 8 minutes to go in the half. And looks like we should have a corner kick. Yes, I see somebody from Philipsburg working their way down there. So Philipsburg looks like they're all set up. They have 6 guys near the center of the field as they head in towards the goal. And I believe he tried a header there, Kim.
It was behind the window frame here, so I was not able to see it.
That window frame's been giving you all kinds of trouble all night long.
Well, both sides, yes. It's a little challenging.
And as we stop the action there for a second, I mentioned Ethan Thompson was getting ready to come in. He was also joined by senior Hunter McKinney for Philipsburg. So they are getting their substitutions in and out quickly. Forest Hills, I believe, still maintaining their starters out there. But I do, as I say that, look down on the sidelines. And it looks like we're getting ready to sub in Logan Strayer.
Oh, you're they get elbowed a little bit. They're going to get a little 6'7".
And the keeper comes out of goal and able to quickly slide that ball across the field. And wow, Forest Hills again moves that ball up to the center of the field.
I was getting a little seasick there going back and forth.
I believe that's Caden Carpenter who had possession there for a little bit. Caden, of course, the son of our junior high soccer coach, Mr. Denon Carpenter, also a longtime phys ed teacher here at Forest Hills. And Logan Strayer is coming into the game right now. And looks like he's giving Jacob Singer a break. And again, Philipsburg with their substitution. Brennan Vellinati getting ready to come into the game. And Forest Hills able to keep those defenders way up there, up past the 50-yard line at this point. So they're very, very comfortable with the way things have gone and the way that ball just seems to be staying down on the other end of the field. As we've talked about in past years, it almost seems like the field's tilted right now in Forest Hills' favor, which we like that. And we have a player down on the field quickly, briefly I should say, Carson Long, a midfielder junior for Philipsburg, and their captain, or I should say one of their captains, giving Philipsburg an opportunity to move that ball up the field. And we have a stoppage of play here. Okay, and we're back to action after a little discussion with the referees there. We have about 4 minutes to go in the half. And the ball kind of back and forth here, but still sitting over on Philipsburg's side. And there's Caden Carpenter with that fancy footwork,
He is amazing.
Look at that footwork, and he gets a shot off. What amazes me is I see nothing but white jerseys around him. And he's able to somehow get that ball not only around them, but then get a shot off and right on target. Matt Thompson, of course, did a nice job back there and able to stop that shot. But he's stopped a couple of Caden's shots already that I thought, wow, they're fantastic shots. So, yeah, amazing footwork out there.
Ooh.
And there he is sliding over to make sure that ball's not going to get into the possession of Philipsburg for very long. Pushes it out, giving his guys a chance to set something up. But we have number 9, Carson Long, oh boy, for Philipsburg. And we have a whistle. Kind of looked like incidental contact to me, but let's see what they choose to call here. I'm not sure. I guess they are going to give him the kick.
I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to do it. No, you are. Yeah.
And the referees are going to discuss that just to make sure that it wasn't incidental contact, and they confer that it wasn't, and there's going to be a goal kick.
There was no way. You can't find that word. I've seen it. You can't find that word. I've done it firsthand. You can't fly afterward. You got this, Carson. Come on, buddy.
One of the most exciting plays in soccer coming up here. We have 1v1 basically. Let's see what happens. And that kick is good. That puts the keeper in such a tough spot. You know, Brace doing the best he could back in there. But when you have a guy not that far away from you like that with a free kick, as we did with number 9 Carson Long, makes it tough for the keeper.
That's a big area to cover. That is for sure.
That's a huge area. Carson did a real nice job getting that ball past them, and Brace, of course, did a nice job in there trying to get to it, unable to.
And to
be
bring
honest
that with
one
you,
in
I really don't understand why they had that kick.
I'm not sure either. I'm not going to question the referees.
Right, I'm just saying
Somebody did
I
go
don't
down.
understand it.
Well, somebody went down. I'm not so sure it wasn't incidental, but they called it that it was not. So we have to go with what the referees say. And
True.
Forest Hill is doing what they've been doing all night long, just quickly moving that ball deep into Philipsburg territory and not letting that goal bother them at all. They get it right back down there, giving Bryce a nice breather up there and putting the pressure on the Philipsburg keeper. But Philipsburg's defense does a real nice job getting that ball and clearing it out of there so that Matt Thompson didn't have to do any work this time, giving him a breather as well. And so far for Philipsburg, looks like Carson Long right there in the middle of the field with some fancy footwork has done a nice job carrying the load over here for them. Throw in real quickly by Aaron Henniger for Philipsburg. And a nice, looked like a nice back pass there with his foot, just nobody to get it to, giving the ball to Forest Hills. And little miscommunication there, a little misplay, and ball goes back out. So that gives Philipsburg another opportunity, and they are bringing in Sawyer Seitz. I believe this is the first time that we've seen Sawyer in the game. He is a freshman midfielder.
You know about that, don't you?
Only a minute left to play in the first half.
Yes. And Sawyer's giving Siler Dixon a little break there. Siler, I believe, has been out pretty much the entire game. He got maybe a slight break every here and there, but he's pretty much been in this game the entire time, working real hard. So he gets a little breather. And Forest Hills, once again, pushing that ball up with a shot on goal. Here we go. And that ball is in the back of the net. Just as we talked about Philipsburg having the ball down on the other side, Forest Hills turns it around, gets the ball back to the middle of the field, and we had a nice shot on goal by Caden Carpenter. We've been talking about him in the center of the field here quite a bit tonight, and Matt Thompson's been able to keep most of his shots out of goal, but not that time. Caden able to get that around him, and Forest Hills gets that lead back up to 2 again with a 3-1 lead with 10 seconds to go here in the half. So it looks like we're going to take that 3-1 lead into the half, which is a nice cushion for Forest Hills and a real nice time for Forest Hills to get that goal. Real nice time for Caden to get free and get that shot on goal. Going into the half, that's a nice feeling for Forest Hills. And we will be back with action in the second half. And here we go for the second half, back in action. Forest Hills with that 3-1 lead. And again, Forest Hills putting pressure on Philipsburg early. With less than 30 seconds into the second half, we already have a shot on goal, but Matt Thompson able to keep that one out of the goal. And I apologize, I couldn't see the number. That was the far side of the field as to who took that shot on goal. And again, Matt Thompson comes out of goal. That was not a shot on goal, but able to come out. And he's going to option to have one of his players kick it. Just a short kick, which I don't know if I would have done that, because that gave Forest Hills an opportunity. Caden Carpenter, oh, I thought he had that one buried in the back of the net. It landed on the top of the net. And I apologize, and I do thank our crew up here able to help me out with that one. Matt Thompson is no longer in goal. It looks like they switched out for Hunter Bell. So Hunter Bell is now in goal for Philipsburg. I just had my numbers switched around. I said Hunter was the goalkeeper earlier, and it was Matt, and now I was saying it's Matt and it's Hunter. So Hunter, Matt, I apologize. Hunter, you are in goal. And so far he's done a nice job with Forest Hills putting all kinds of pressure on him down here early on in this second half. And he chooses to let one of those other players in white kick that ball out. And he made a nice kick up to around the 50, but Forest Hills puts it right back deep into Philipsburg territory. And they're just keeping the pressure on them. Isaac Dibble doing a nice job keeping that ball over on our end and getting it to the center of the field. We have 3 guys in green right there in front of the goal, but unable to get it past the defenders. And Kim, there are those nice bright orange shoes for you there.
Exactly.
We have a couple pair of orange shoes out there.
I see 3 of them out there.
Well, Wyatt Ellison's are pretty. Maybe that's pink. They're pretty bright.
Oh, trust me, people can pick that up. 78. And he was holding me, and I got mad, so I got.
And again. Oh, wait a minute. I think that ball went in. I'm not sure who kicked it in, but that ball definitely went into the goal. Looked like it was buried on the right-hand side, possibly off of a white jersey.
I thought Hunter, but they said it was Katie kicked it and then they own goal themselves.
All right, so we just got confirmation from Mr. Denon Carpenter. It looked like Caden Carpenter had control of the ball down there, and it came off of a white jersey as we sort of suspected and went into the goal. So I believe that goal would then be credited to Caden. So Caden Carpenter gets credit for that goal, and he comes right back with another shot just a little bit high, and we've seen him do that several times here for the football games, Kim.
Yes, and he just scored another field goal.
Yeah, he put that one right through the uprights, as we've seen him do many times on Friday nights. And boy, he's an amazing kicker for the football team as well.
And this is his first year.
It's his first year. I was talking to him earlier in the season, and I said, Caden, how far do you think you can get it? And he said, well, I just put one in from 45 yards at practice. He said, so I'm thinking maybe about...
That's awesome.
Maybe about 50.
And he's straight down.
Sure.
Straight down the line as well.
Now, I know just from watching the NFL, 45, 50-yard field goals are tough to get. And he's hitting them in high school, so really good to see.
Yes, it is.
He may have a future in college at either. And again, we're talking about those field goals. There's number 25. He puts one through the uprights. Isaac Dibble just a little bit high above the crossbar. And through the uprights. But Forest Hills, maintaining that 4-1 lead. And obviously they're trying to put some more on the board. But as I was saying, Kim, some of these guys want to play at the next level. And Caden might be one of those guys that has an opportunity to do that at either American football or with soccer. Ooh. And it looks like the player's okay. Thought it might have come off of his head, but I don't think so. He seems to be All right, so that's good. Again, a lot of action early on here in the second half of the game, just like we saw in the first half. A lot of shots on goal. Guys really hustling for the ball. Nice footwork and quick strikes down on the other end of the field for Forest Hills. But right now, Philipsburg is setting up. And there's a shot on goal, and it's in. Wow, I'm not sure who kicked that, but it looked like it came from about 32 yards out.
That was a nice kick.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was just over the outstretched arms of Bryce Carroll. Not much he could do with that one. Just perfect placement from a good distance out there, and that makes the score Forest Hills 4, Philipsburg 2. With 34 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second half. And that goal was scored by number 9, Carson Long. We talked about him earlier, and I believe he scored the goal for Philipsburg in the first half. And we talked about how quick he is with his shots on goal as well, and he kicked that from outside of the 30-yard line. Just beautiful placement right over the outstretched arms, as we said, of Bryce Carroll and into the goal. And again, Forest Hills not worried about that goal. They bring it right back down the field, and we have an opportunity right here, folks. Let's see. Oh! Somebody might have gotten a foot on that to keep that ball out of the goal, because Toby Wilt looked like he was all by himself in front of the goal for a moment. And it must have come off of a Philipsburg player, because I see that we had a corner kick there. And again, Forest Hills hustling down the field, able to get control of the ball and move it back down in this direction. We have a throw in here coming up. Seth Bernoski throwing in on the near side of the field down to Caden Carpenter. Caden trying to work that ball through the defenders. Up to number 25, Isaac Dibble, who puts it back across the field. Philipsburg able to defend it for a moment, but let's see what happens. We have Toby Wilt in there with control once again, and he gets the goal. Toby Wilt moving down the center of the field quickly, able to get past all of the defenders, stayed with that ball and was able to get it past the goalkeeper. 32 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the second half, making the score Forest Hills 5 and Philipsburg Osceola 2. So far, Kim, we have seen some outstanding players from both sides, but on the Forest Hills side, you know, Toby Wilt has been right in there. I believe he has 2 goals in this game. Caden Carpenter with 2 goals in this game. Really showing off our forwards on the Forest Hills end.
Definitely. My goodness, they are really hustling tonight.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the other end of the field with Bryce Carroll. You know, he is only allowed 2 goals. Of course, one of those was on a goal kick, which is very difficult to defend, as we talked about before. But yeah, he's kept that ball out of goal as well as our defense, not allowing that ball down on the other end of the field.
Exactly.
And as we say that, once again, Forest Hills putting pressure on Philipsburg, moving the ball to the center of the field. And our defenders and midfielders doing a nice job back there around the 50-yard line to try to keep the ball on that end, but Philipsburg able to move it down the side, trying to set something up, see if they can get somebody in the center of the field. And another long shot on goal, but this one goes left of the goalie, wide of the goal. giving Forest Hills an opportunity to get that ball back down the field. We have a substitution coming in. Looks like Jacob Singer is coming into the game. And he's replacing Logan Strayer. And once again, Forest Hills just keeping the pressure on Philipsburg, keeping the ball as much as they can between the midfield and that Philipsburg goalie.
Even go there and like work. I want to fucking play GTA at my house. Yeah.
Call nothing.
Nick, can you tell these guys to watch their language? There's a microphone right here, so we're recording it, so thank you. All right, so the action's still back and forth here between Philipsburg and Forest Hills. Forest Hills able to keep the pressure pretty much so far with 29 minutes to go. Keep the pressure down on the Philipsburg end of the field and on Hunter Bell as much as they possibly can. Boy, I hear a train in the background, Kim.
Oh, yes, that's the one coming through Sidman.
Yeah.
That's actually the second one I've heard come through.
It seems like there have been a lot of trains moving through this area lately, and I wonder if it's because of if they're getting coal, moving more coal into this area because of winter coming, but I agree with you. I've heard them come through here quite a bit as well.
Yes. I actually like the sound of it. It's,
yes.
Ooh.
And a dangerous play there by Philipsburg with a header that looked like it could have possibly gone the other way and gone in. Forest Hills just relentless down here on the other end of the field, just shot after shot on the goalies. You know, Matt Thompson in the first half had a lot of pressure on him, and Hunter Bell here in the second half has had a lot of pressure on him as well. They've had quite a few saves. 4 or 5 of those goals have gotten through. But for the most part, they've done a nice job keeping that ball out of goal.
Now, those trains are really nice, except for when you're on your way to school.
Yes, I'm sure.
Now, fortunately, I don't come that way, but I know a few people have gotten.
If you're coming through the 1889 park, I'm sure
Right.
they don't appreciate those trains coming through right as school's getting ready to start. Would slow things down just a little bit.
Just a little.
And 1889 Park, I know we've talked a bit about this area. That's another unique spot we have here in Forest Hills. You can camp down there now, I learned recently.
Oh, my, yes. For years, they have had an RV area there.
I never knew that. I've been working down here for 20 plus years now and never realized that you could camp there. That's a really neat thing to have in the area.
And right next to the RV area there used to be, and I don't know if they do it anymore, but they used to have an ice skating rink.
Oh,
they
yeah?
would flood it over. The firemen would come up and...
In the wintertime?
Yep. But I'm not sure if they do that anymore.
Well, we haven't really had winters where there's a lot of opportunity to have freezing temperatures like that. We may have a couple days of freezing temperatures and then a few days in the 40s. So we haven't had a whole lot of what I would call cold weather like when we were kids. And I don't know if that's just a changing environment or what, but it just doesn't seem like the weather is quite as cold as it used to be in the winter.
Well, according to the Farmer's Almanac, it's going to be a winter filled with lots of snow.
Oh, my.
Not so much the cold temperatures, but lots of snow. And if you look at the fruit trees around town, they are loaded.
Well,
so that's a good indication.
I'm a fan of the fruit trees being loaded. I am not a fan of the snow coming in the winter, though.
Hey, you live in western Pennsylvania. I mean,
I don't have too many options up here, do I?
Nope.
There are no oceans and there's no sand, but yeah, we do get the snow. And while we were talking, Forest Hills continues to keep the ball down here on Philipsburg's end.
They have really controlled the possession.
Right. Oh, and that one's off the side post. Almost the 6th goal. Missed that by mere inches. I'm not sure who took that shot, but it looked like it came from about the 20-yard line. And pretty good distance off to the side. So that ball traveled a good ways to get there.
Now you can see that mist is just coming sideways from east to west. I'm going to try to get a shot of that here while there's a break in the action. You can check it out.
I feel like I'm sitting at a Steelers game the way you're showing those shots up with the lights.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
You can see that rain coming down.
But no one's soaked.
No, I said, standing down on the sidelines before the game, it didn't even feel like it was really raining. But yeah, looking at that shot that you had in the camera there, it definitely there's moisture in the air. Doesn't seem to be deterring our players at all. That's certainly for sure. The footing seems pretty good out there on the field, and it's not stopping them from getting shots on goal. That's for sure. Those have come in bunches tonight. And I have to say, our guys are working hard out there. Any opportunity they have around the ball, they've taken those opportunities, worked the ball in, taken some nice shots on goal tonight. And that shot goes wide, left of the goalie. Looked like it came off the foot of Seth Bernoski.
Another train.
And there's another train. I don't know if that's the same train or not, but seems to be a lot of trains going through here. And another shot, another pass, I should say, to the middle of the field, right in front of the goal. Unable to make anything happen yet. Let's see, though. Caden Carpenter with that fancy footwork. Here he goes up near the goal trying to get it. Oh, wow. I don't know how he got that angle there, but he got a shot off that looked like it had a good opportunity, but Hunter Bell got a hand on it. And that ball.
And Caden did a backward somersault.
Oh, I missed the backward somersault, but wow, the footwork in there around the goal was just amazing. And we have a little header. Oh,
ooh,
boy.
That almost went in off the white.
I was going to say, I don't think that was a green jersey. That looked like it was another white jersey there. That's about the third time we've seen a header right in front of their goal that looked like it might have been going the wrong direction. And we have a little header by Forest Hills over there, but unable to keep it in. And that goes to Philipsburg. And dangerously kicked over there on the far side. Nice job. Bryce Carroll stops that one at about the 5-yard line. A lot of headers here in the second half, Kim. As you had mentioned in the first half, you saw quite a few. And we have a whistle. I saw number 25, Aaron Henniger, go down for Philipsburg. And looks like it goes back to Philipsburg, and they quickly take the ball down the side of the field. They're going to try to work that back into the middle. Forest Hills has done a fantastic job of keeping the ball out of the middle of the field.
Oh.
Now, I'm not sure. I believe that one was incidental contact. We had a player down, but it was incidental. And again, Bryce Carroll able to keep the ball out of goal. And I'm going to give credit to the defender down there. He did a nice job. I believe it was Carson Long. Looked like he had an opportunity to maybe get a shot on goal. And our defender stayed right with him, did not allow him to get near that ball, and gave Bryce a chance to get the ball and kick it back out safely away from the goal. And I believe the player that was back there helping him out was number 12, and that would be Wyatt Ellison. And I heard the coaches down there just saying something to Wyatt, maybe telling him that he did a real nice job down there, helping to keep that ball out of goal. Philipsburg working the ball from the near side to the center. And they had somebody heading down the middle of the field, but I heard a whistle. It was offsides on Philipsburg. So Forest Hills with the opportunity to get the ball deep down into Philipsburg's side once again. And they got it down there quickly, but Philipsburg able to turn it back around. Let's see what happens here. Again, Bryce Carroll comes out to about 2-3 yard line that time, and instead of kicking it, he chooses to throw the ball back in. And Forest Hills, at the moment, seems to have control of the ball. With 18 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the second half, Forest Hills maintains that 5-2 lead. And even though it is raining, it doesn't seem to be real cold out there. The players don't seem to be affected by that rain and that weather at all. Maybe because of the humidity, but they seem to be comfortable out there at the moment. And again, brace over. He's able to get that one. Let's see if he chooses to punt this ball or throw it. And he's going to punt this one, and that's a nice kick all the way down to the 40, almost to the 35 yard line when it was done bouncing around. So he got it deep into Philipsburg territory, and that one, unfortunately, Toby Wilt could not catch up to, and it goes out the back of the end zone here at the field. And looks like we have another substitution. Jacob Singer comes out of the game. He's going to take a breather. And that's Wyatt Ellison out there around the 45 yard line, able to kick that ball back down towards the goal. But keeper Hunter Bell able to get that ball back out to around the 50 yard line for Philipsburg. At this point, Kim, I'd say Forest Hills would probably be content just to keep that ball around the middle of the field and just sort of keep control of what's going on. Even if they don't get another goal, they have a nice, comfortable 3-goal lead with 16 minutes to go. And as I say that, we have a quick shot on goal just off the crossbar.
There have been so many close ones tonight. Hitting the post.
Can you imagine
Just
if those
over.
all went in?
It's crazy.
I'm not sure. Was that Caden Carpenter that kicked that one? It looked like a left-footed kick, maybe? And I remember that from last year, that he's able to kick with both his right and left feet with almost just as much power from either side. I mean, I have trouble just walking from one place to another, and he's able to use both of his feet and get that ball in, just about in goal either way. Here he comes again, and another left-footed shot. This time it goes in. He buries it in the left side of the goal. Very nice job. Caden Carpenter, I believe, with his 3rd goal of the game. That would be a hat trick. If we were on the ice right now, we'd see hats flying down all over the place. So that's his 3rd goal of the game. That's a hat trick for Caden. And that makes the score Forest Hills 6 and Philipsburg 2. Kim, what do you think about those left-footed kicks like that? That's pretty amazing.
You know, while you were talking about that, I was trying to remember if he was a lefty whenever he was in my room. And for some reason, I'm thinking he was.
Well,
I don't know.
but
I
I
can't
think
remember.
When I saw him kicking for the football team, I swear he was kicking with his right foot.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah, he kicked with his right foot in football. So, I mean, I know they call it ambidextrous with your hands. I don't know what they call that with your feet, but he's ambidextrous with his feet too, I guess. Right or left, he does a great job either way. So we
Yes, he does.
We have Caden with 3 goals. We have Toby Wilt, I believe, with 2 goals. Toby had 3 as well. So all 6 goals were scored by 2 players for Forest Hills, 3 for Caden and 3 for Toby. So we had 2 hat tricks here tonight by 2 different players for Forest Hills. That's wonderful. And again, like we were talking about earlier when we called the first game, Kim, and we saw Sarah Dybert down there on the sidelines. You know, seeing Nathan Velko down here on the sidelines, I remember when he played, and it seems like just not that long ago, they were both out there playing soccer for Forest Hills, and now they're both down there coaching in the sidelines.
Exactly, which is really neat to see.
I know Nathan was one of your students, I believe.
Yes.
I don't know if you had Sarah in school or not, but
No, but I know Sarah very well because
Sure.
she and my daughter Shelby are.
That could be trouble, and it is.
There you go.
Wow. And I think that was number 9 coming down the middle of the field. So just like Forest Hills, we had 3 goals each from the players over there. We just saw 3 hat tricks tonight because I believe that was Carson Long, and that would be his 3rd goal of the night as well. So 9 goals scored in this game so far by 3 players. So Philipsburg looked like they were going to get the ball down there into Forest Hills territory a little bit. Forest Hills seems to be turning it around, and we have a throw-in from the far side. Right around the 50-yard line as we push it right back down into Philipsburg territory. And Philipsburg has the ball. We have someone moving down the near side for Philipsburg, trying to get it back out to the middle of the field, but unfortunately for Philipsburg, Forest Hills had somebody right there defending, and they're able to bring that ball right back down the other way, and they're moving it down into Philipsburg territory once again. And we have a throw-in coming up right now. And that ball not going anywhere. Looked like Forest Hills had complete control of it. Philipsburg had one of their defenders come across, wisely get that ball out of bounds, giving their guys a chance to come down here and defend a little bit. Forest Hills with a quick shot on goal, or I should say across the front of the goal. Skipping to the right of the goalie. Philipsburg bringing that ball out once again. Looked like we had Aaron Henninger coming down the sidelines for Philipsburg, but unable to control it, and Forest Hills with a throw-in. And both teams still working real hard here. Philipsburg seems to have a little bit more urgency right now with 10 minutes to go in the game, down by 3 goals. They're working pretty hard down that side to try to get the ball back to the center of the field and see if they can get a shot on goal. And every single time it seems like they're going to get that ball back to the center of the field, Forest Hills able to kick it back across the field, keeping it safely away from our goalie. And as I mentioned, the keeper, he comes out of goal and punts that ball back upfield. Another real nice kick out to around the 50. And we have a whistle, and the ball goes over to Philipsburg with an opportunity to kick it back down and deep into Forest Hills territory. And we have 2 substitutions. We have number 26 coming in for Forest Hills. That would be Tristan Roberts. And I believe we had number 11, Siler Dixon, coming back in for Philipsburg.
You got that? Take it from him, Toby. Give him a target.
And Toby Wilt with the throw in. I don't think we've seen him throw the ball in yet tonight, Kim.
Good ball. Go get it.
That might be the first time. I know we've seen him a lot of action down in front of the goal, but I haven't seen him throw it in much. A little bit of fancy footwork there by sophomore forward Hank Hazelton for Philipsburg as they work the ball back down into Forest Hills territory a little bit.
Come on.
And just like that, the ball is right back down on the other end of the field. At this point of the game, I think Forest Hills wants to just control that ball, keep it down on this end. If they get the opportunity to get another goal, I'm sure they're going to take that. But they want to just run that clock down as much as they possibly can, keep the ball away from their goalkeeper. Hunter Bell with a nice kick out to around the 45, 50-yard line. Tristan Roberts, who just came into the game not that long ago, working hard out there. And wow. Wow, Bryce Carroll didn't want to give any opportunity for Philipsburg to get a kickoff. He comes out there and he's able to get a hold of that ball. Okay, we are back to action here. We just had a quick stop. We had a player come off the field. He seems like he's going to be okay. And we continue play here with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the game. Forest Hills still putting pressure on Philipsburg, keeping the ball down on their end of the field. There's Caden Carpenter coming across the field, and it just goes past the goal and out of bounds. Keeper optioning to have one of his players kick that ball for him.
He wrote down all my stats for like saves, or he's like.
And it looked like for a second there Philipsburg might have control and get things going the other way, but Forest Hills has just been all over the field and able to get control of the ball and keep it down on this end, as they have done pretty much all night long.
I don't know who they are.
And again, there are those defenders from Forest Hills able to clear that ball from about the 20, 30-yard line, keeping it away from our keeper. And the more they do that, the more time ticks off, Kim, and that preserves that lead that we have.
Yes, we are down to almost 5 minutes left in the game.
And again, a couple players got tangled up there. Looked like incidental contact, but I believe they may have called tripping. And yes, they did call tripping, giving Philipsburg another opportunity here. You see Forest Hills lined up to defend it, although I heard a whistle right before that kick. Maybe that was just to get the substitutions in. We have number 6, Ethan Thompson, and number 2, Sawyer Seitz, both coming into the game for Philipsburg. And the ball sailed over the goal. Bryce Carroll kicking it back out to about the 30-yard line. We're down to 4 minutes to go in the half. Forest Hills maintains that 6-3 lead. And right now we seem like we're more in a defensive position than anything. We're not pressing the ball at all. We have nobody up on the other end of the field. Our forwards are sitting right around the 45, 50-yard line. And Bryce Carroll not able to handle that one, but he gets a little help back there on defense, clearing the ball out. And Forest Hills not only clears it, but they look like they may be able to turn it around and go the other way. Not quite. Philipsburg really pressing hard to get that ball in there. And Bryce certainly not afraid to come out of goal. Even whenever it looks like they may have an opportunity, he gets out there and he cuts that angle off, not allowing the forwards to get a real clear shot at goal. So he's done a fantastic job there. There he is, stealing one away. Might have come off the crossbar, might have hit his hand, not real sure, but he got up there and wasn't going to give it a chance to get in, that's certainly for sure. Quickly brings it back out, and Forest Hills gets it down on the other end of the field. With 2 minutes and 43 seconds left to go, we get a shot on goal just wide of the goal. When it seemed like all we were going to do is just kind of maintain and defend, there's that quick strike offense that we talked about earlier in the game. Right back down the field, and a shot on goal. Philipsburg trying to clear the ball. They're out around the 40. But Forest Hills not allowing it, keeping that ball down there as we tick down to about 2 minutes to go, maintaining that 3-goal lead. Ball goes out. Ball goes out the back of the end zone. Keeper opts to let one of his players kick for him again, as we've seen a lot this second half. And Forest Hills able to keep it down on that end of the field. And here we have another shot on goal, and a nice job by Hunter Bell to hang on to that ball. And this time he chooses to kick it himself, and he has a nice leg as well. He's able to get that ball over the 50-yard line out to almost the 45, giving his team a chance down here with about 1 minute to go. Looks like the ball goes off of green, and we have a corner kick coming up for Philipsburg, but we're switching players. More time ticking off the clock. A lot of time came off the clock there as they were getting set. And Forest Hills defends it nicely. Back out again for another corner kick. They quickly set up, and here we go again. Can't quite get the ball through. Forest Hills defense has been amazing all night long, as well as our keeper, Bryce Carroll, once again coming up with that ball and throwing it out to about the 40 with 30 seconds to go. Forest Hills with that nice 3-goal lead.
Oh.
And we have a quick stop with 14 seconds to go. And time does tick down. And they opt to let this game go to the end. We're going to check on that player that looks like he may have taken a ball to the face, hoping that he's okay. Forest Hills with a 6-3 victory over Philipsburg. And as we predicted, Kim, this was going to be a very fast moving team. Both teams, very quick moving teams, and a lot of shots on goal.
Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, this was a great soccer night here in Sidman, Pennsylvania. Both the girls and the boys winning both of each of their games. And yes, it was it was definitely not a slow-moving game tonight.
No.
Neither one of them.
And I'm sure that helps. This is going to help Forest Hills out. They now go to a 5-2-1 record. Really should help them out in the standings. With Philipsburg being on top or near the top, that should move Forest Hills up in the rankings and get them in real good position for the playoffs. So on that note, thank you, Kim, for helping out. Thank you, everybody up here, for helping. And I'm going to let you take this one away.
Alrighty. Well, with that being said, good night, Forest Hills.
Good night, everyone.
But we gon' win the war. I'm from the bottom, I'm that uncut, real raw. When things get tough, that's when we show up. That's when we show out. That's when we show yo. It's time to knuckle up.